Hi, welcome to another video of solution drafting where you'll be learning a new technique. In this video, you're going to learn how to properly model rebar in a grade beam. So let's start off. So we're in our level 1 here. We're going to go to structural, we're going to go to beam, and then we're going to select, well, there's no structural beam here, so we're going to download one from our Revit library. So we can go to either architectural, or we can go to structural, or we can go to insert, and we want to load a family. So we want to go to our folder that says framing, and we want to choose from the concrete because we want a concrete beam. So we want to choose the first one, which is our concrete rectangular beam. Click OK, and great, now we're going to draw in our beam just like that. Now you might get this pop-up window. If you get this, that means that you gotta adjust. You can hit escape once. That means you gotta adjust your view range. So type in VR, and then as you can see, my cut plane is above the first level by 4 feet. I needed to cut right underneath the level, so I want to make this like a -6 inches. And if I do that, I gotta make the bottom cut also -6 inches. And the bottom, I can make it unlimited, or I can make it -6 inches or more. So I'll click apply, click OK, and now you can see my beam, which is great. So now that I'll go to a 3D view so you guys can see that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put it in, change the view style to a frame style, so that once I start modeling the rebar, you guys can actually see it. So there's the beam right there. I'll leave it at this particular angle, and I'll be switching back and forth. So now I'm going to go back to my level 1, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a random section on the beam. Doesn't matter where you do it, you know, as long as you cut it. And then I'm going to bring in my view range close. Then the next thing I want to do is I want to go to that particular cut. Once I'm in that particular cut, I always like to change my my detail view to fine, and I want to keep this. I want to see the thin lines just like that. The next thing you want to do before you even start placing any type of rebar, you want to set your cover. So first you want to go to structural tab, and you want to set your rebar cover. And once you hover over it, it gives you a brief explanation as to what it does. You know, I'll read it briefly. It edits the rebar cover, references an entire rebar host or individual face. Rebar covers references act as an offset boundary for reinforcement within its host. Rebar elements automatically find and snap to the references during the placement. So basically, to somewhat sum it up, basically what it is, it dictates how far you want to set your rebar from the edge of the concrete. So we're going to click on it, and as you can see, Revit has a predefined at 1 inch offsets. But we don't want a 1 inch offset. We want our offsets from the sides to be 3 inches, and then 3 inches from the bottom per code. The top typically per code is about 1.5 inches if it's above grade. So we want to do that. In order to do that, then we have to select the first tab, which is to pick face. And the reason you want to select the pick face, because it'll set the cover for each face in particular. So you can have different covers at each different face. If you want a universal setup where you want an offset on all 4 sides, then you would do the pick element, and then this one would offset everything equally. So we want to do the first one, but we want to change it so that we want to choose the first one, and before we can change the offset, we want to pick the side we want to change, which is this one. We click it, and once you click it, it'll activate this part right here. So if you look in here, we only have one setup for the cover, which is an inch offset, which is what was predefined already. We don't want that. We want one that gives us a 3-inch clearance and a 1.5-inch clearance. To do that, you're going to have to click on these 3 dots and edit the cover settings. Once you click on this, as you can see, there's only one cover. We're going to add a new one, and we're going to make this one 1.5 inches. And then we're going to add another one and make this one an offset of 3 inches. Just like that, and then we'll click OK. Once we do that, then again, we'll click on the pick sides, sorry. You click on the side, and then now you'll see a drop down icon, and you select which offset you want. We want 3 there. We'll select this side. We want 3 there also, and then from the bottom we'll select that one, and we want that to be 3 inches off, and the top we want that to be 1.5 inches, just like that. Perfect. Now you can hit escape once. Now that we set our cover settings, now we can start modeling our rebar. So to model a rebar, you click on the rebar icon here, and it's okay. You don't have to worry about that. That's fine. It's saying that no rebar family is loaded into the AutoCAD. So we can do that now. That's not a problem. All we have to do is go to here to our English Imperial Library. Go to Rebar. There's a folder for Rebar, which is this one. And then what we'll do is we'll grab all of them and we'll insert them. This will take a brief second. Now that they're there, now what we can do is we want to be able to see our rebar. So again, we clicked on rebar. We got this. Now we got this this little taskbar that gives us the types of rebars that are available. But this doesn't give us much information. All we're getting here is numbers. You want to actually see something visually, because most of us are visual learners. So what you want to do is you want to click on these 3 dots again, and once you do that, you'll get this pop-up. So this pop-up here actually has the same numbers, but it gives you a visual graphic of the actual rebar. So to start setting up the rebar, I'm gonna do some stirrups, which are these, so you guys can see them in 3D. I want to do, let me see, which one do I want to do? I think I might have passed it. I'm going too fast here. I want to do this one here, number T1. I'm going to click on that one, and you want to make sure that you want to be on the current work plane. The current work plane would be where you made your cut through your beam. That is your current work plane. And you always want to have this icon activated to expand to host. Basically, what that means is that once we lay our rebar in here, it's gonna expand it across the host of the entire beam. So make sure you got this one activated, and you want to be parallel to the plane. So we'll click this, and once you click it in here and you scroll around, as you can see, the rebar is confined to our cover settings, so we don't have to adjust those anymore, which is great. And once I choose my setting or how I want it to look like, I click once, then I'll escape, and there's my stirrups, and these got modeled across the beam, and I'll show you guys with my 3D view. Well, actually it didn't, and the reason being is if I grab it, I forgot to change the layout. So once I change the layout here from a single, I'm going to change it to a maximum spacing, and I'll make that 12 inches on center, and now you can see the rebar. You can see the rebar in there. It's all in there, which is nice. So we cut a section, we set the work plane to that current view, and once we laid that rebar from that view, which is our section cut, it expanded it. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to add rebars there, 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 and there. And the way I typically like to set those rebars is by going back to the rebar button. I want to expand it, but this time what I want to do is I want to choose fixed number, a fixed number, and I want it to be 2 on the bottom, 2 on top. So I will scroll all the way up again, and this time I'll choose the individual rebar. I want it to be parallel to the cover, so that's facing me. And once you set it in here, since we pre-selected 2 fix, automatically it sets them right at the edge of our rebar, just like that. So we'll set those there, and then we can set 2 more up here. We'll set them about right there. And then once we do that, we can use our arrow key to move it up where we want it. We want them to be about right there. And then we'll grab these 2, and we'll use our arrow key downward, and we'll click until we get it to where we want it to be at. Now we can go to our 3D view, and there's our modeled rebar. So that's the great thing about modeling concrete beams in Revit, that it's easy to do, and it's really fast. Now you might be asking yourselves another question, and the question would be as follows: what would happen if, for example, you add additional bars, right? Let's say you want additional bars. I'll draw in another one over here, a random one here. But you don't want to go through the whole process, the tedious process. I'll go to section view of actually modeling everything onto here. Well, there's an easy way to actually copy the entire rebar with one option. By activating the rebar, by clicking it, there's a button called Progagate rebar, and what it does is once you click on it, you can either, since we're in a section view, we can do align by face. Basically, what that means, we grab it here, we grab a side, and then we click on the destination beam to set it, just like that. As you can see, it did it. However, once you click finalize, it did not carry over the covers. So that's the only one thing I've found cumbersome with using the Progagate option. What you need to do is you're gonna have to go to your rebar, go to structural, go to your covers, and you're gonna have to quickly set those. You're gonna have to set those on the concrete beam you want to have the rebar copied to. So quickly, since you already have the settings preset, just can quickly do that, and then click the bottom, do that, and then we'll do the top, and we'll make that 1.5 inches. Now that that's done, then we can go back. We'll click escape. Now we can go back in here. We'll grab all our rebar. We'll again click on the Progagate rebar, and then this time, instead of choosing by phase, we'll do by host, and basically we'll click on where we want to host it to. We'll click it here, and there you go. Now you have, well, I didn't click enter, so again, I'm going to redo this again. Make sure you grab all the rebar, because if you don't grab all the rebar, it won't bring it all over. It won't bring it over. So then you click the Progagate, and then you click the line by host. You click it again, and then you got to click enter, and then it'll escape you out of the command. Now if you go to a 3D view of it, there you go. There's your rebar. There's your rebar. And of course you can always, if you can always, like, if you grab both of them, go to your, this view, and then from here you can copy additional ones, and of course they'll have the rebar in them, just like that. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys, and if you did like the video, please help me out by subscribing to my channel, and I promise to provide you guys with more additional resourceful videos that will help you speed up your drafting and make you more productive. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys until the next one.